Right now at noon, medical examiners in Ottawa County, Oklahoma, identify the human remains discovered last week, marking a breakthrough in a 6-year-old missing person case.
And we've still got some clouds, we still have some drizzle out there, but we will get a brief clearing as we head into the afternoon. Details on that forecast coming up.
Plus, pharmacy workers across Kansas bring concerns of third-party administrators before lawmakers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. New at noon today, a decision has been made on an officer-involved shooting that took place in December of last year in Miami, Oklahoma. On December 27, 2024, an officer-involved shooting in Miami resulted in the death of an armed suspect. Miami officers responded to a report of an armed male attempting to break into an apartment. Officers encountered the suspect, who police say appeared to be under the influence of narcotics and was carrying a weapon, ignoring repeated commands prompting the officer to fire. Today, the city of Miami says the United States Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Oklahoma has completed their review of evidence in the shooting. After reviewing all the evidence, U.S. Attorney's Office determined the shooting was justified under the circumstances. Medical examiners identify human remains discovered last week in northeast Oklahoma. Last Friday, the Quapaw Nation Marshal Service responded to a call regarding the discovery of human remains found in rural Ottawa County, just north of Commerce, Oklahoma. Medical examiners searched the area and collected the remains for possible identification. Yesterday, the Oklahoma Medical Examiner's Office confirmed the identity of the remains to be those of Aubrey Austin Dameron, an enrolled member of the Cherokee Nation. Now, Dameron was last seen during the early morning hours on March 9, 2019, as she was leaving her mother's home in the Grove area with plans to meet someone. She was 25 years old at the time. Aubrey's missing person case has stretched on for 6 years. In November 2019, cadaver dogs got a hit at a pond and nearby shed in Delaware County, leading to an extensive search that came up empty. Now let's head over to Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've got the clouds continuing across there. Still got some drizzle out there. Skywatch Storm Tracker, other than the clouds, not picking up on any rain. It's not to say you're not going to see some out there, a few sprinkles. Our camera downtown Pittsburgh confirming the cloudiness, but roads are starting to dry out, which is definitely a positive sign. MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline looking good as well, and a little bit of drying taking place in the Joplin area. Still have some fog to contend with, not quite like what we saw yesterday, but really right through this zone, 69 and east, I-49 and south approximately. We still have some fog out there, so just again, remember to slow down and make sure you still have your low beams on because you need to be visible in the fog. Yesterday, we started 10 degrees above normal, but our high right where we should be, so can't go wrong with that. 37 in Joplin right now, 36 in Pittsburgh, a bit chilly, but we're starting again to get some progressive clearing out there, and as we do so, temperatures will warm a bit more. We're all kind of hovering out into the 30s. We'll be falling back, once we reach the 40s later today, we'll be falling back to the 30s. Skies will actually be mostly clear to partly cloudy through the evening, and then the clouds and showers will return overnight tonight. So we have more rain on the way. We also have snow on the way, at least a good potential. We'll have a look at all of that in the full forecast here in a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, Opal Foods in Neosho is dealing with a bird flu outbreak. Prairie View Regional Waste Landfill in Lamar has confirmed they'll be handling the disposal of the birds and following safety precautions. Now, in a statement, the company says, in part, quote, "Our landfill team is following all Center for Disease Control guidelines, including immediately burying and covering the waste and disinfecting vehicles and landfill equipment after the material is unloaded," end quote. Now, they say employees will be equipped with gloves, boots, coveralls, and goggles as they handle the disposal. We'll continue to update this story as details are released. Well, more than 100 pharmacies across Kansas were closed yesterday as workers met with state lawmakers in Topeka. They hope to bring to light their concerns regarding pharmacy benefit managers, better known as PBMs. KOAM Samantha Walker has the details.
PBMs are third-party administrators for health insurers' prescription programs. They're supposed to help negotiate for better drug prices and help determine rebates for pharmacies. But locally owned pharmacies say now major PBM companies have their own pharmacies and insurance companies and are driving their business away. It's what inspired Kansas pharmacies to close their doors for the day to meet with lawmakers.
Unfortunately, the money is being pulled out of our community, and it's going to states like New Jersey, Arizona. It's not even within the state of Kansas is where the support goes to. So we would like to see Kansans have good health care and Kansas businesses be healthy and safe.
Wolker Drugs in Baxter Springs is just one of the many pharmacies to close so their staff could meet with lawmakers in Topeka. Pharmacist Brian Caswell says he's hoping to see change. The Kansas Pharmacists Association is working to introduce a bill this year that will allow for pharmacies to have greater patient access. The proposed bill will allow patients to have a choice in what pharmacy they use and prevent some of the PBM practices hurting locally owned pharmacy business.
What I would like to see is more of a transparent pharmacy benefit package. In other words, let's take away the shadows where the PBMs operate within.
Caswell says the day at the Capitol was a successful one, advocating for PBM reform. He says the Pharmacists Association has support from the legislature. Caswell hopes this means we'll see change soon.
We just want to have a business that we can create for our community that allows healthcare access that's affordable and that we can actually operate within. That's all we're asking for.
PBM reform is something pharmacists across the 4 states are asking for. Each state has proposed regulations that would impact these PBMs if passed by lawmakers. In the studio, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
We can learn more about what concerns pharmacists have regarding pharmacy benefit managers on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And coming up, a local pageant title holder is using her platform to help children. And later, we're making baked Reuben dip in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. A woman from Miami, Oklahoma is making waves in pageantry and at New York Fashion Week this week. But her true focus is right here in the 4 states, advocating for children's safety. I had the chance to speak with her and learn her story. Behind the gowns, the crown, and the spotlight, there's a young woman with a purpose. Anna Maria Thomas is using her pageant platform for something far more meaningful.
I feel very passionate about helping abused and neglected kids.
Anna Maria works at the Children's Advocacy Center in Ottawa County, helping neglected and abused children. She's combining her experience in advocacy with her pageant titles to bring awareness of child abuse to her community, something Children's Advocacy Center Director Leslie Bissell says is crucial.
Last year alone, I believe we saw 206 kids just in Ottawa County. So a lot of people, might think that we don't have many cases that come through here, but we actually do. That's a great number for our county. It's huge.
Because I'm in pageants, I'm in a very specific position to also be a child advocate. Because if I show up somewhere, a classroom or a daycare, even a community event, and I'm wearing like a sparkly sash and a sparkly tiara, they're going to want to come talk to me, and they're going to want to listen to what I have to say.
To expand her impact, Anna Maria created an initiative designed to educate and empower children.
She started this project. It's called the SAFE Project.
It stands for speak, advocate, facilitate, and educate. And speak, if you see something, say something. Advocate for one another. Advocate for the children in the community. They don't need to be your own. It can be any of them. Facilitate an environment where children feel that they can trust you and come to you if something is wrong. And then educate teachers, parents, caregivers, and the children themselves about the proper ways to go about body safety and consent when a child, 3. Unfortunately, they may be too young to understand, but that doesn't mean that's not happening to them.
The SAFE Project is just one way Anna Maria continues to inspire people in Ottawa County.
Anyone can go out there and set these goals and achieve it, even in a small town like this. And two completely different, I'm a child advocate and I work child abuse and sex crimes, but I also am model and I have pageants and I go to New York and I get to do all this stuff. There's no reason we can't have both. You can stand strongly and still say, I'm enough and I feel secure enough in myself that I can do both and still advocate for both and bring betterment to my community by using the platforms that have been given to me.
Anna Maria plans to bring the SAFE project to daycares and classrooms across Ottawa County. For more information, you can visit our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The Southwest Center of Educational Excellence in Webb City has received a $4.3 million grant to combat teacher shortages in Missouri. According to the U.S. Department of Education, the rate at which teachers are leaving their positions is above the national average. The federally funded grant, called the TPQ, or Teachers Quality Partnerships Program, allows any individual who currently holds a bachelor's in any field to go back to school to get a master's in teaching.
The interesting thing about this is our candidates in the program have degrees in another field. So if you have a bachelor's degree that is not in education and have always wanted to be a teacher, we can put you in our program and you can be a teacher.
The grant was approved in October and will be awarded through the next 5 years. And still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
What if we could turn one of our favorite deli sandwiches into a super game day dip? Well, we can.
And we are tracking the possibility of snow as we head into next week. We'll talk about that this weekend and all the other stuff you need to know right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. And take a look. It's cloudy. It's a little bit dreary out there. Man, the last weekend was fantastic. And I don't know about you, but I have purchased the full option for spring, and we've got a couple more months, but we will eventually get into spring, like fully. Until then, we still have some of this business going on, but we are progressively improving. You can see the roads downtown Pittsburgh are drier. In fact, I think they're drier now than where they were when we started the show, which is an improvement as well. Don't forget, we do have some of that patchy fog. It's really almost 69 in points east, where we have some of the more dense fog, and then you get a little further south into Benton County, and then around Anderson, Cassville, south of Monette, we get a little more of that denser fog. But still, nonetheless, you want to be cautious out there. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to start to see some more of that clearing take place, which is progressively happening. So again, some of us in southeast Kansas may actually even reach highs of about 50 degrees today, because you may get a little more sunshine than everyone else. So even though you were colder this morning than everyone else, you get to look back and go, haha, we're now warmer than the rest of you are, because these clouds are going to take a minute to clear out. Now we go into Friday morning, clouds retreat back to the north, and they'll bring with them additional showers as we head toward tomorrow morning. And we're going to have scattered showers, some drizzle throughout the day on Friday. So we're not going to get sunshine or clear skies for very long, but we'll at least get some kind of brief clearing. Then this will turn into more organized shower activity as we go Friday night into Saturday. And that will hang out with us for a good portion of the day Saturday, probably be about 1, 2 o'clock before that clears on out of here. And then we'll eventually start to see some clearing take place as we go overnight into Sunday. Unfortunately, temperatures are going to drop, and it's going to get very cold. So here we go. We got what looks like at this point 2 potential rounds of snow next week. One is Monday into Tuesday. The other is Wednesday into Thursday. So here's what we're looking at. This is Tuesday morning. So we got Monday night into Tuesday morning. Some snow, some rain, a wintry mix, and then temperatures drop a bit. So by Tuesday mid-morning, almost noon, this is more of a snow event. Still some rain, still some wintry mix, but a little bit of snow mixed in. Then that kind of clears out, and then we've got an opportunity for a bigger system by Wednesday. So this is about 5 a.m., and take a look, and look at these temperatures too. Goodland, Dodge City, North Platte, in the teens. We're at least in the low 20s, and we'll watch what happens with this. So this is the big question. Now, right now, the belief here is that the heavier snow will be along 70 and then curl back, when you see these darker colors, back toward Wichita. We will still get snow, but we may not get as much as our friends to the north. So we've got to keep a close eye on it. And again, we're still several days out, and I want to give you this idea as to how much could possibly change. In fact, this has changed since this morning. This computer model this morning had our northern counties anywhere from 7 to 10 inches through Thursday evening. So this is between the two snow events. Now it's brought them down to 4 to 7 inches in most cases. The other computer model in that same time frame as you can see, doesn't pile it on as much, but the Thursday system's the one that brings in even more. But even then, this is maybe 1 to 4 inches at best. So there's still a lot of variables, still a lot of things we have to keep an eye on over the next several days. And we'll get this refined and give you an idea. But we are looking at snow. It's just a matter of how much. Between here and there, upper 40s tomorrow, 60 possibly by Saturday. Then that temperature drop. We go into Sunday. Temperatures remaining below average by 10 to 15 degrees next week. So you hang out in the 30s. And again, we'll keep an eye on those possible snow chances. Like I said, I think we're looking likely for snow. It's just a matter of how much we're actually going to get when we get there.
All right, Chris, thanks. And stick around. We're making baked Reuben dip in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. Howard's making baked Reuben dip in the Mr. Food Test kitchen.
With the big game just days away, we want to make sure you're armed with everything you need. That way, when it comes to the food, there'll be plenty to share about. And let me tell you, once everyone digs into the dip we're whipping up today, they will. The first thing we do is mix together a package of softened cream cheese, some sour cream, a can of sauerkraut that we've drained and chopped, and some chopped up corned beef. And that can be left over or from the deli. Then we add some shredded Swiss, a bit of diced onion, and a squirt each of ketchup and spicy mustard. Once everything's mixed, we spoon it into a baking dish, smooth it out, and pop it in the oven. The nice thing about this is that you can make it ahead and bake it off right before the game. You'll know it's done when it's bubbling hot and everyone gathers around. And they will, because it has all the flavors of our favorite deli sandwich when it's teamed up with some rye bread. I really hope you'll get the recipe for our baked Reuben dip so you'll be ready with a game day winner. It might be a good idea to print out a few extra copies of the recipe because everyone's going to be asking for it. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a winning way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find the recipe on KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, skies again will eventually clear out later today. Still breezy tomorrow. More showers as we head into Friday and Saturday. And then temperatures drop heading into Sunday. We again are looking very likely for snow, it seems. It's just again a question of how much we'll get as we head into next week. So we'll keep monitoring that for you.
Hopefully not too much.
I'm right there with you. A little is fine.
Yeah, a little's fine. All right, Chris, thanks. And Dar, what do you have for us later on?
Lots coming up at 5. For starters, flu cases are peaking for a second time this season. The surge has led to some school closures across the country. We're going to have more on how to keep your family safe this winter. Plus, what Joplin residents can expect regarding a road widening project in the city. And 8th graders from across the McDonald County School District take a tour through the McDonald County High School. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today. KOAM News at 5.
All right, thanks, Dal. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.